Have you ever noticed how geography completely changes our definition of luxury? Back in the West, having someone in your home full-time to help raise your children is a privilege reserved for the ultra-wealthy. But pack your bags, move to a bustling hub like Ho Chi Minh City, and suddenly, that impossible luxury becomes an everyday reality. Why does crossing an ocean completely rewrite the rules of parenting and household management?
That is the perfect question to start with, because it really is a massive culture shock. You arrive in Southeast Asia, and suddenly you are navigating this entirely new ecosystem of domestic help. We are talking about full-time, live-out childcare for roughly $320 to $480 a month. If you want someone with exceptional English who has spent a decade working with expatriate families, you might push that up to $600. It completely changes how families operate.
Those numbers are staggering when you compare them to Western standards. But it is never just about the money, is it? I imagine the expectations are vastly different too. You are not just hiring a babysitter. You are often bringing in a hybrid caregiver and house manager. How do people balance that dynamic without exploiting the situation?
That is the delicate tightrope. Locally, it is incredibly common for a caregiver to also handle light housework, laundry, and cooking while the baby sleeps. But you have to be extraordinarily clear about boundaries from day one. If you want them to focus entirely on your toddler's development, you have to communicate that. Otherwise, you end up with a caregiver who is exhausted from trying to keep a spotless house while chasing a crawling baby.
Which brings up a fascinating philosophical dilemma. When we outsource these deeply personal tasks, like raising our kids and tending to our homes, are we just buying back our own time, or are we fundamentally altering the family structure? You are bringing a stranger into your most intimate space, and they end up teaching your children local customs and shaping their worldview.
Exactly, and that transforms it from a simple financial transaction into a deep human connection. You see this most clearly with the unwritten rules, like the mandatory 13th month salary given right before the Lunar New Year. It is not just a bonus, it is a cultural expectation that helps them support their own families in their hometowns. Many employers even provide private health insurance. When you do these things, you are not just retaining an employee, you are acknowledging their humanity and building profound loyalty.
It really shifts the perspective from hiring help to expanding your family unit. It makes you wonder, as our world becomes increasingly globalized and we cross these cultural borders, how will our definition of the nuclear family continue to evolve? Will we start seeing the village approach to child rearing make a return, just in a modernized economic form? That is a profound thought to leave hanging in the air today. Thank you for listening, and keep questioning the world around you.